Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good morning, and for that matter, a great day. Today I'm planning to play more Genshin Impact. The new event just dropped. It dropped a week ago or two ago. I think it's been about 7 or 8 days. But, that gives us time and opportunity to explore some of the new quests that came out. I'm judging by how much time I have for this event and how long it's probably going to take. I probably won't do it all in one video, and I might have to do it in separate videos. If you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe because I will be covering the entire event. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Time to see Catherine, just to, start off the new event. I assume she means in Inazuma. Yeah, of course. Gotta see the newest Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. We heard that you have a new commission for us.
A new commission.
That's correct. There's a requester who has submitted a designated commission for the two of you.
A designated commission? Sounds like it must be pretty important.
It does, in fact. Very important.
Is it exactly?
Good question.
There's no need to worry. This commission is not dangerous by any means.
Oh.
Perhaps you have heard that Inazuma will soon be holding a major festival.
I was kind of hoping it was going to be dangerous.
Festival.
Yay! A festival! Oh,
I know Paimon isn't all about
What kind of
fighting
festival
things
are we gonna do
constantly,
it for
but
a
it's kind of
while?
fun.
The Yashiro Commission and Lady Yae are responsible for all the festival preparations.
Ooh,
The
Mika?
one who has requested your help is none other than Lady Yae herself.
Mika really sent out a commission. Very fitting that I just barely did
She
her
always has
quest.
some unusual ideas in her head. You can bet a festival planned by her is gonna be one to remember.
Yeah, truly.
We'd better go to Grand Narukami Shrine and see what she needs us to do.
Yeah?
Lady Yae is currently at Yae Publishing House in Hanamizaka, so there is no need to go all the way to the shrine. In fact, she has instructed me to have you directly meet with her there.
Ooh.
Oh, well that's convenient enough. Let's go then.
Time to get a little tipsy on the tincture. Here we go. I guess we're immediately going to Yae Publishing House. Reminds me of the quest that we just finished off recently. But, yeah. Oh, there she is.
Aratani and Kuroda, how are things coming along?
Oh?
All the books and commission prints for Yae Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yae.
Ooh.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Ape Kusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden with Unlimited Power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
Ooh.
Well done. And what about you, Onodera?
He looks sad.
Ahem. Onodera?
Yes, Lady Ai. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence. Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I feel quite optimistic about it.
I'm sure you do, Yae
I
Mika.
shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, Lady Ai. Thank you very much.
All right then. Is
She
everyone
treats her
clear about
people
their
kind of really
assignments?
well.
Good. We are running out of time, so let's get moving. Chop.
She's big on treating all of her people very
Hello,
well.
little ones. I take it you have received my commission.
Yep, we're here to help. However that may be.
So you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the
Paimon,
Narukami Shrine?
jeez, you're so, angry.
You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
Paimon, why are you so angry? Feisty Paimon's a real thing.
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk from you two. But as you can clearly see, I'm here working like a dog for the festival. Yet you say I'm not doing my job. Let me ask you, little ones. Whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
No one.
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all.
Screw anyone who believes that trends involve things that are, like, required. Screw them.
Yes, that is true. But now that the Sokoku decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Therefore, rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time, we'll be holding an international cultural festival. Distinctly
Ooh.
Inazuman, but with a unique twist.
A cultural festival.
I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of the Iridori Festival.
Oh? Enlighten
Legend
me.
has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted in singing and writing poetry. They are known as the 5 Kasen.
The 5 Kasen.
Every year, one of the 5 would present a collection of the group's poems to the shogun for review.
Makes
which
sense.
would then
She's
spark
very
culture
big on
discussions
writing.
regarding those works. Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time.
Understandable.
As time passed, people began creating various tales based on the 5 Kasen. The Iridori Festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Yeah.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
Yeah.
Indeed. To describe it in the words of the ancients, it'd be refined elegance.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the 5 Kasen and the festival.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Iridori Festival by holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Light novels?
Refined, elegant stuff you just said.
Please stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage, but nowadays, the entertainment format of choice is light novels.
Makes sense.
The important thing is not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past.
Yeah, poems aren't always the best thing to do,
Speaking
especially
of which,
nowadays.
Don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma?
Probably.
And besides, it's a great opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to Ultivat through light novels. As they say, it's 2 birds with 1 stone.
A whole lot of thinly veiled self-justification.
Whoa, that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persuasive tongue. Come on, Miko.
You're just gonna sell them a lot of your
I know you by
books.
now. This is all definitely stemming from your own personal interest.
Not full-heartedly.
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here. Well, what do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interesting things you might see at the festival?
I think that the festival, if more than just a bunch of light novel reading, could be pretty good. New
Maybe
foods,
a little.
new other stuff.
All right, Paimon's super curious now.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival.
Okay.
There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your
Ayato.
tasks.
I don't even get a choice. She's just automatically taking me there. I assume we're gonna meet Ayato. So what's going on with this whole festival thing?
During the Iridori Festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs Agency will become the main exhibition space for light novels.
Oh?
Once things are in full swing, not only will there be lots of official and fan-created work on display, there'll also be exclusive giveaways, prizes, and new
Ooh.
release parties. This small plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the Five Kasen Plaza during the festival.
Ah,
And nearby shops will be selling special light novel merchandise. You certainly won't want to miss out.
sounds pretty decent.
How should Paimon put this? It's definitely not your typical festival, but it sure looks like it'll be quite the party.
Yeah, it sounds like a light novel paradise.
Miko, what are these blank boards in the center of the plaza?
For the 5 Kisa?
Yes, those are...
Ah, Lady I did mention that there would be
Of
some
course I oughta.
reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. It appears she meant you two.
I'm not surprised.
At last we meet again, Traveler and Paimon. Tell me, how are you faring recently?
Your voice actor sounds a bit different than normal. Maybe it's a new session or something. I'm doing quite well, I'd say.
Oh, it's Ayato!
He uses
Wow, so
faring.
even
Oh
the
no,
music
not
director
another
stuff
person who
you did
uses
from the Iridori
faring.
Festival.
Preparing festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of responsibilities. Seeing
Makes
as Lady
sense.
I has poured her heart and
Weddings,
soul into the
festivals,
preparations, I'm
any
obliged
grand
to be equally
gestures.
dedicated.
Come now, Ayato. We're not strangers here. There's no need to sound so formal.
You always sound formal, Ayato. Yay, Miko, you never sound formal.
We were just about to discuss the boards over here. They're related to our little helper's tasks, so I'll let
Oh?
you give them a detailed rundown.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Iridori Festival originated from the 5 Kasen. These 5 boards are here for painting their portraits.
Oh?
This Iridori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Inazuma since the lifting of the Sakoku Decree, it is also an event deeply rooted in culture and the arts.
Yeah.
Therefore, the Yashiro Commission has personally invited several cultural celebrities from other nations.
Ooh?
For example, the artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt.
Who would that be?
The Yashiro Commission will arrange accommodations and food in
Please-
Inazuma
please
for
don't tell
each of
me
the
it's like
distinguished guests.
Klee
However,
or...
we fear that staying in a foreign
D-Look.
land may feel a little uncomfortable,
I mean, D-Look maybe. He's good at art. I don't know. That would be kind of cool.
which is precisely why it would be ideal to have someone familiar with both Inazuma and other nations of Teyvat to serve as a guide for our guests.
So you're saying I'm an ambassador?
I knew you would catch on. It is our hope that you would be able to guide the guests from the harbor to their
I guess I
residence at
could
the
be like an
International Trade
ambassador
Association,
for other
while
people.
providing any necessary assistance along the way. This arrival schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do is go to the docks at the indicated times.
At 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Cool.
It's settled then. My, look at the time. I have to meet with my editors, so I must be going now.
Okay.
During the festival, most of the Yae Publishing House's editors will be staying near the Outlander Affairs Agency. If you run into any problems, you may find them there.
Gladly.
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
Gladly. I will gladly take care of any guests that I
Much
must.
more to light novels than Paimon realized.
I'm not surprised, Paimon.
Let's go tell our findings to Yae Miko. All the details we need about the ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. Let's take a closer look and be sure to pick up the passengers according to the times written on it.
So far we've been told about the 5 Kase, and more or less have seen this beautiful decorations of Yae Miko and the Raiden. We have to now invite the guest to Inazuma, which is so cool. I wonder who our first set of guests are gonna be. Oh,
Hello, you must be here to take part in the Iridori Festival.
we
have
don't
the
seem
festival
to know
guides,
most
and
of
we'll show
them.
you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt.
Bards from
Word
Mondstadt.
has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of late. We hope to find fresh inspiration here.
Paimon, what are you doing?
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, Tonga's bard then. Huh.
You think Venti would actually be here?
Mondstadt.
Even if he was
Think you didn't
invited,
receive an invitation?
there's a chance he still wouldn't show up.
Huh? Why's that?
It's Venti.
Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Venti no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon.
And an Archon just going into other
If you
Archon's
came
territory is
Inazuma
kind
at
of
the first
sketchy.
mention of a festival, not only would it seem
Klee.
a little childish, it would also sort of be shameless of him too.
Yeah.
Miss Honorary Knight, Paimon!
Here comes Klee.
Hey, were you also invited to the Iridori Festival?
Probably not.
No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation.
And of course he brought you along.
But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged for someone here to issue me a dependent pass.
Ooh.
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making
Wait,
preparations for the Irodori Festival,
I mean,
I predicted that I might run into you here.
you'd make for a great painter. You know, especially since your whole thing is painting.
Knew it.
You know? Anyone else think about that? Albedo being a painter in a painting
It
event?
seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma.
Calyx.
Oh, by the way, do you know where
Interesting.
the International Trade Association is? I'll be meeting with the editorial director of the Yae Publishing House there.
Yeah, Miko.
Yeah, the International Trade Association is where you'll be staying in Inazuma. We'll be heading there too.
Great. Let's get
I'm
going.
more or less the guide of everyone here, so I mean, it would be kind of stupid if I were just to leave you like a fish out of water. We're here.
Wow, it's so beautiful here. So many things I've never seen before.
I bet.
Slow down, Klee. Please be careful not to bump into others.
Yeah.
Telling Klee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was probably not the best idea. As a
Yeah.
result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited now that we've arrived.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's how kids are. Sometimes they're just
Strange.
very
It
excited.
seems that the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama, isn't here yet. I'm certain he said that he'd be sure to arrive before me. This might be a problem.
What's wrong?
Well, Mr. Hiroyama was supposed to meet with me and give me some reference materials about the 5 Kasen today.
Yeah.
That way, I could better visualize the content for my paintings.
You
Hmm.
mean you had no idea what you'd be painting before you arrived in Inazuma?
Probably.
I only know of
Makes
the 5
sense.
Kasen by name. Because of the sheer age of the tale, very little has been passed down to this day. So Mr. Hiroyama decided to help me collect some more information.
Okay.
I'm the type of painter who can complete a painting quickly as long as I'm inspired. So I agreed on only receiving the details today.
So when do the
Makes
paintings
sense.
have to be done by?
According to the festival plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the Irodori Festival. The first one, depicting Suiko, will need to be done
Suiko.
before the festival's official opening ceremony, which is the day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow.
Then you're already running out of time.
Yeah.
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished at the last minute.
I expect you're just
last
a very
month,
fast
to ensure
artist.
the latest book of A Legend of Sword would be finished for the Irodori Festival, I had to complete the final chapter's illustrations the same day I received the manuscript.
Oh?
I heard that my illustrations were sent to print as soon as they arrived in Inazuma. I still don't know how well they turned out.
Good question.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions or compliment you on your artistic genius.
Those are big words for Paimon. Like, I mean, most of the time, working very fast is a very useful skill. So I'd
Of course,
probably
I
compliment him.
would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance, so that I can be better prepared.
Speaking of which, Miko didn't mention.
The editors The Yai
Or did
Publishing
mention.
House will all be around the Outlander Affairs Agency these next few days.
Oh.
Who knows? Maybe Mr. Hirayama's over there too. We'll take you over there to see if we can find him, Albedo.
All right, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please stay at our residence in the International Trade Association and get some rest. We will be back soon.
Dude.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
Klee with bombs in a harbor with no sleep. This just spelling disaster.
Please be mindful of your personal safety at all times.
This can't be happening. The moment we need to contact Onodera is when he's on special leave.
Onodera?
Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run. The demand for this book is so high, though. Even with the emergency prints, it still might not be enough.
Oh.
Despite everything, we're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few days later, then we'd really be in boiling water.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think that suspicious guy they found in the warehouse has anything to do with this?
Suspicious guy.
Well,
How
the
is he
editorial director
suspicious?
is on his way over there to investigate the situation as we speak.
Oh, so that's where the
sorry to
editorial.
interrupt, but
That's where the editorial director is.
Oh, hey, traveler. Don't worry. It's nothing, just an internal issue. That's all. How can I help you?
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hirayama. Does anyone know where he is now?
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata.
Oh.
Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was
Calx.
invited to paint the 5 Kasen for the festival?
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the 5 Kasen.
Yes.
I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr. Hirayama know to send you the materials right away.
Oh, no need. You guys look super busy, so we can go find him ourselves.
Well, about that.
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of A Legend of Sword?
Huh? How did you know?
Oh.
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up.
Huh.
To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hirayama directly. After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to A Legend of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm very sorry. The situation is just as you said, Calx. I suppose it doesn't hurt to tell you now.
Yeah.
Earlier today, someone spotted a suspicious outlander sneaking around
suspicious
inside the Iridori
outlander.
Festival warehouse down by the docks. So they promptly alerted the Tenryou
Intriguing.
Commission. The Tenryou Commission was concerned about potential cargo theft, so they contacted everyone who was
Understandable.
renting space in the
Yeah,
warehouse.
very understandable.
It was
Cargo
then that we
theft
realized
is
that
not
the latest copies of A Legend of Sword had
fun.
suddenly gone missing.
Oh.
What? The books are missing?
Shh, not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Iridori Festival, but the author, Chin-Yu, will be personally attending the release party as well.
Yikes.
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hirayama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine whether the theft was related to that suspicious outlander.
I see.
Makes sense.
And would be a great misfortune if A Legend of Sword would not be released on schedule. And quite a disappointment for Chin-Yu as well.
Yeah.
If Mr. Hirayama has gone to the warehouse at the docks, then I'll go down to see if I can be of any help.
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jay. Sounds familiar. Hey, isn't that Xingqiu's pen name?
Xingqiu.
Oh, do you know him?
We've met a couple
Xingqiu
occasions.
would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing. Let's accompany Albedo to the warehouse.
I didn't know that Albedo knew Xingqiu. Or maybe he doesn't, and he just knows that we know them based on our comments. Oh, Venti? Venti. Really?
It's you! Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryou Commission.
Not you, Kujo Sara.
Is that surprising?
No, Sarah, Paimon wasn't talking about you.
It's the tone deaf board.
Bard. The suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me.
Of course it is.
As I have told you, you are a suspect. Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again. Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed bard from Mondstadt?
Well, I can't say he's a complete stranger. We're quite familiar.
Listen, Sarah. Knowing him, it's safe to say that he wasn't behind the theft. But what's this about being a stowaway?
I'm not
Although
surprised.
he claims to be a special guest for the Iridori Festival, he's failed to present his invitation letter. Therefore, we can only suspect that he might have entered the country illegally. And just a
I wouldn't
moment
be
ago,
surprised.
we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze.
Could we ask him a few questions?
Shed any light on the situation, then please, be my guest.
Oh, Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
Ouch! Your words wound me. We've been apart for so long, and the moment we meet again, all I'm greeted with is grilling questions and suspicious glares. You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard. You, of all people, should be more understanding.
Similar means?
Let's not bring up the past now.
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission. It's unlikely that someone acquainted with the likes of him would ever be here illegally, right?
But why weren't you on the same ship as the other bards?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Well, once I received the invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting dandelion wine. So, naturally, I decided to set sail with them. Once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way.
Definitely
I
didn't
must have
steal the
fallen
liquor.
asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake.
Oh.
And when I woke up, I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryou Commission general glaring at me from atop the grate.
I'm not surprised.
Coming from Venti, this story is quite believable. But it still feels a bit...
Shameless.
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the IA Publishing House, and there are some questions I would like to ask you.
Yeah.
Based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the warehouse for some time now. If that's the case, did you happen to hear anything unusual?
Good question.
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me a couple of times, but I didn't consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
Oh.
Hmm? But if you clearly heard something, why didn't you feel it was unusual?
I mean, it was a warehouse.
I seem to understand now.
Huh?
What did you notice, Albedo?
Yeah, like actually, what did
when
you
it comes
notice?
to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. What Venti means is that he did not hear anything unusual like that.
Yeah, no.
As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are coming in and out each day, it is quite normal for people to be walking around.
Yeah, that makes perfect
I
sense.
see. But if that's the case, then we're back to square one regarding the stolen books.
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now.
People knew
First,
where the books
whoever
were.
took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights on the books from the very beginning. Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse.
Yeah, they knew where the
might even
books
have a
were
key.
stored and had a
third,
key. They must have been involved with more than one criminal. There must have been more than one criminal
I
involved.
knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time. It must have been a team effort.
Yeah.
It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama,
He
the
might have
Tenryo
still
Commission
come
will
here
continue by
illegally.
investigating the warehouse staff. If you come across any further clues, please notify us immediately.
Yeah.
Yes, understood. I'll leave it to you.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Definitely not honest.
Sora is quite the meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry. I can't seem to remember where I may have put it.
Definitely didn't leave it on the boat.
Could you lose something so important?
Because it's Venti.
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. But I didn't bring any luggage with me, and the letter was too big to fit in my pocket. So I kept it in my hand the whole trip.
That is so unbelievably stupid.
Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I
A
know that
little
I kept
bit
it
too
in a
much.
secure place. I even recall being most pleased at coming up with a good idea at the time.
Oh?
If you were holding the invitation in your hand the whole time, then why did you put it down?
Well, to properly compare the taste of non-stat wine and Inazuman sake, I had to hold a glass in each hand. I couldn't both hold the invitation and a glass at the same time.
Venti.
But surely I wouldn't put it in just any
Buddy.
place. It could easily be misplaced.
In which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out, Traveler?
In the crate?
You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
Is it in the crate? It's not gonna be in the cape. Maybe it's in his hat, and maybe it's in his shoe. In his hat?
Ah, yes. I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
I'm not surprised he shoved it in his hat.
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission. Now that we've confirmed this guest's identity, I have no further questions. However,
Cool.
starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association.
Of course.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Don't go sleeping in crates and warehouses because you fell asleep drunk, Venti.
There goes Sora. All right, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference materials.
Yeah.
Mr. Hirayama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are, Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess.
Yeah.
These are the materials regarding the 5 Kassen. All the information that we could find is compiled here.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. I'm not gonna take the time to read all this. If you guys want to read all of it, I'll take some time and scroll down very slowly. But oh my goodness, this is like several paragraphs of stuff. Like oh my goodness. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna read that.
Let's see here.
But it just
Yes,
appeared
it's
to be
just
some
as
basic
expected.
descriptive
Monikers
stuff.
such as Suiko and Aoi no Okina aren't the real names of the 5 Kassen.
Yeah, no
Though
surprise
there were
there.
once many stories regarding each of the 5 Kassen, the validity of their contents can no longer be verified in present times. Alas, what a shame.
Yeah.
But at the very least,
Not
we
surprising.
know that most of the stories were written according to a similar style, so there is still something we may glean from this.
Yes.
So, is the info useful for your paintings, Albedo?
To some extent, yes. However, I must admit that it is still lacking and fails to fulfill the most crucial element.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
I am sorry that this information is not as exhaustive as you had hoped. However, it is not possible to gather anything more at the moment.
Would Yamiko know anything
Lady
about
Ai
it? Maybe
considered
Raiden?
There are many variations of the story about the 5 Kassen, and everyone has a different story in their heart.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So all you need to do is follow through with what's in your own heart and create something that you yourself find interesting.
Okay.
Does sound like something Miko would say.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Hirayama. No need to worry. I'll find inspiration for the portraits.
Great.
Okay.
I'll leave it to you then, Calx. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to ask of everyone.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, Mr. Genyu, the author of A Legend of Sword, will be arriving in Inazuma by boat. If you see him, please do not mention the stolen novels for the time being.
Wasn't planning
Whether
on
the
it.
stolen books are eventually
I was
recovered or not,
immediately
the
going to
Publishing
go
House
to
will do
him
its
and
best to
tell him
ensure
about
that the
his
novel's
books
release is
being
a
stolen.
success.
You know.
You have my gratitude. I'll be going then.
Well, seems there's nothing more we can
Venti,
do.
what are you up to?
Huh? Venti? What are you doing over there? You don't want us to leave you behind, do you?
Traveler, Albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar that I think you should see.
Uh-oh. Venti, are you gonna get us involved in something? I wouldn't be surprised. This is Venti we're talking about.
A piece of paper?
Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping.
Oh? What's it
I
say?
didn't think much of it then. I thought it was merely a scrap piece of paper that had fallen into the cargo. After a quick glance, I stuffed it into a place nearby.
Okay.
On second thought, I think it's worth having you take a look at what's written on it.
Oh, it seems to be a poem from the original Five Caution.
Wait a minute. Isn't Suiko the name of one of the 5 Kasen?
Yeah.
The story told in this poem roughly boils down to Suiko getting tipsy and letting some poems that were meant for the shogun get stolen.
Oh.
Ah, this
Reminds
story
me of
sounds
Venti.
familiar to my ear. Where have I heard it?
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just experienced yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, indeed it is. Interesting, isn't it?
It almost seems like it's relevant to the stolen novels.
Yes, I concur. The person who left this paper could quite possibly be the criminal, or even a witness to the theft. But why leave the paper here in such a fashion? And if the one who left it here was a witness, why didn't they attempt to stop the burglary?
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most rare occasion. Since we've been busy from the start of the day, let us find an inn with good drink to keep our thirst at bay.
Of course you're immediately thinking.
And you're already thinking about more drinks?
Yeah, Paimon.
And let's not
That's all
forget that our
Venti
Beto
ever
still
thinks
has
about.
a portrait to
Drinks
complete.
and song.
We don't have time to be slacking off.
No, it's fine. Let's all go for a drink together. It'll be my treat.
Okay, Albedo.
What about your portrait?
As I mentioned before, I'm the kind of artist who can work quickly once I'm inspired. And now, it seems I've found my source of inspiration.
Venti?
If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the appropriate recompense.
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes.
Of course.
One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter. Suiko pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
Wow, you really came through, Albedo. You were able to complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony.
Damn. I really like the
Really is
portrait.
a sight to behold. Not only does it harken to the traditional style of Inazuma, but it also makes use of modern aesthetics. My figure is particularly striking. Even though I'm sound asleep in the portrait, I still appear as glorious as always.
Of course, that's how you'd see it,
Don't
Venti.
get too full of yourself, Tone-Deaf Bard. You were just a model. The person in the artwork isn't actually you.
Well,
Well,
we don't know that for exactly sure.
The next one will be Aoi no Okina of the 5 Kasen.
Aoi no Okina.
Albedo, might I suggest waiting a little before starting on the next one? Who knows? You might soon discover another story.
Yeah, maybe.
I believe he's referring to the possibility of finding another paper with tales of the 5 Kasen. According to the reference materials I was given, we've only found the first of a total of 4 chapters.
Makes sense.
Do you think the mysterious person who left the first paper will strike again?
Hopefully, because we're kind of a fish out of water without it. We're kind of not doing too hot.
Stories of the 5 Kasen that have left me rather curious.
Hmm.
For example, the reference materials make mention of 5 legendary figures.
And yet
all the popular stories only consist of 4 parts.
Yeah.
It appears that throughout all the stories, there is never a chapter dedicated to Kuronushi.
Kuronushi?
Yes, I'm also curious about these stories myself. But who knows? They may merely be akin to the old saying in Mondstadt. Seeds of stories brought by the wind and cultivated by time.
Yeah.
So for now, we need but just wait patiently.
Of course. I mean, let's be honest, your patience is more to be drowned in alcohol, but no surprise there. Ooh. All nice and fancy. Oh, and now I have those quests unlocked. Oh?
What a coincidence. I was wondering where I might be able to find you.
Miss me?
Yes, indeed. I believe Klee has missed you tremendously.
Oh?
All right.
I accidentally walked into this part.
This time, I'm here mainly for Klee.
Oh?
Before bringing Klee here, I told her many stories about Inazuma. It got her very excited to experience the local culture here.
I never took Klee as an adventurous type.
To do in Inazuma this time, besides painting the portraits of the 5 Kasen. Over the next couple of days, I won't have the time to show her around. Inazuma
Makes sense.
Is not like Mondstadt. I can't just let Klee wander off by herself when I'm busy with other things.
Because if you blow something up, you can write it off as a business expense.
I finish my work.
And
She
in
hasn't
this case, you can't.
But I can tell she's not enjoying being stuck there on her own. Fortunately, I now have you and Paimon.
We're on babysitting duty.
Yay, Miss Honorary Knight's here. What you talking about, Miss Honorary Knight? Are we gonna go play?
Klee, are you saying you'd like to go play?
Yeah. But Albedo is really busy. I can't go too far away or he'll be worried about me. Aw, Klee, you're such a thoughtful kid.
Unlike Paimon.
Paimon's very thoughtful, thank you very much. Paimon always thinks of you whenever she's eating a delicious slime.
Okay.
Anyway, it is pretty
I mean,
cool
very thoughtful.
She was so excited to come here.
Well, look. We'll look after Klee.
Allow the almighty traveler and
I will not write off the business expenses of her blowing up things, though. So that's not coming out of my pocket. As long as I can go back to Mondstadt and like get some money, some accommodation for taking care of Klee.
Spark Knight. You must keep her safe and sound.
Gladly.
By which I mean, try to keep her out of trouble.
Gladly.
For instance, if a mountain in Inazuma was to lose one of its peaks, or if there were an explosion somewhere in the city, Klee could very well get in trouble.
Got it. No explosions.
I promise I'll bring you back an awesome souvenir, Mr. Albedo.
Great. I look forward
An
to
awesome souvenir from Klee.
Loads of cool things to do in Inazuma. Try the local cuisine, visit a shrine. What do you want to do, Klee? Cuisine?
Cuisine. Food.
You know, food and drink. Paimon just meant we could take you to a local restaurant.
Paimon, it's big words for...
Yay! Snack time!
It's big words for Klee.
Alright, snack time it is. Let's go!
Of course, Paimon. Of course, Paimon would be down with that. Which quests am I doing? But yeah, I think I'm going to call this episode here, actually. I know we just barely got into the Cleat quest, and we're only starting the Cossin quest and all that. But, you know, there's still so much more to do for this event. It actually ends up being a very big, cool event. And I really like it, but it's going to take me some time to finish it all. So, I hope you guys are tolerant, and yeah. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to turn on the notification bell, because I will be covering the next few episodes of the event and covering the entire event over the next following weeks. So if you guys are entertained by that, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. Otherwise, I'll see you all tomorrow. Actually, next time, tomorrow's Sunday. Gotta remember that. I take breaks on Sunday now, because I do too much. Anyway, I'll see you all later, and goodbye.